from the failure of technology, where technology has become a bottleneck in the voting and transmission, is the technology taking over IBC, or IBC is controlling technology?
I think the first question, IBC is using the same system for election in all the polling stations. We do not have two systems. I do not have two different policies. It is one. It has been explained before, and it has not changed. So I think it is your imagination, which is good, to think that we are using two systems. We are not using two systems. On the second one about technology, IBC using technology to run the elections. It is that simple. And I don't want to add to that. Yes, we are using technology to facilitate the election.
Thank you so much.
Yes, let me add
just briefing at 8 p.m.
Sorry, let me add something on technology. I think we simulated how results, voting, and transmission will be done. And we told everyone the first priority is the biometric. If it fails, you go to alphanumeric. And where it fails, you resort to register. And I believe, or we believe, in most areas where the technology failed, the authority was given for register to be used, especially in Kakamega and Makueni, if you've seen. But where it failed, we were using it because there was a chain. And why we didn't use register and cross is because of the Supreme Court ruling, which came to, Court of Appeal, which again referred to biometric being the first priority. That was the reason. But initially, the High Court had said we use manual register. So it is because of those scenarios. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
Katika tume kama mwenyekiti ako na shughuli, naibu mwenyekiti uchukua mskani. Ndio maana leo mmeniona mara mbili katika hizi press brief, lakini wacha niwahakikishie Wakenya kwamba mwenyekiti wa tume yuko, tumekuwa na yeye kwa boardroom, tunaiita situation room. Kwa hivyo tukimaliza anaendelea na shughuli zingine 2-3, tukuje tufanye press brief, tunarudi huko. In the next brief, he'll be the one to talk to the nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. See you when we do the next brief.
Our next brief is at 8 p.m.
Naam, ndio mahojiano ama hotuba kutoka kwa makamishna wa IEBC wakielezea mawili matatu kuhusu masala fulani ambayo yameibuka kuhusiana na shughuli nzima ya uchaguzi wa leo, dosari za hapa na pale, maeneo ambapo kura haikupigwa kama ilivyotarajiwa, ndio baadhi ya shughuli ambazo wamezishughulikia. Na even as the commissioners and the CEO were speaking there, quite a number of people also following the proceedings here, and a number of them are concerned, and probably if we had an opportunity we would have posed some of those questions to the commissioners at the Bomas of Kenya. And some of them are here, and they tell me they have certain specific complaints that they have. What is your concern? Start by your name and tell us what are your concerns about this electoral process.
My name is Irene Omondi. I came here early, like I've been on the queue for 2 hours. Reaching there, I am told this is not my polling station. 2017 I voted here, so I'm like, how comes I'm not appearing here and I'm appearing somewhere else? So I've not been allowed to vote. So it's like I've wasted my 2 hours on the queue.
Did you get an opportunity to verify where your registration details were? Did you come to confirm or even use the portal that IEBC had given out for people to cross-check where they had been registered as voters?
Yeah, I tried using the portal, but it didn't go through. So I said, let me just come and verify here. When I reached here, I've been on the queue. The portal is not, it is working for some people and it is not working for some people. So I'm like, now I'm not allowed to vote. I've wasted my vote and I've wasted 2 hours on the queue.
Did you raise the same issue with the presiding officers? What was his or her response?
I did, but he told me if I'm appearing somewhere else, I can't vote here now. And it's already past voting time. I can't travel and go that far. It's
unfortunate, and you clearly missed this out. So what would be your suggestion or your proposal, your recommendations to IEBC in future elections? What should they do, in your opinion?
My proposal is they should try educating the public early, like 5 months early before elections, so that people verify which polling stations they are in, and they do that early so that we are not caught up in such kind of situations.
So sorry, unfortunately, you don't participate, but thank you for turning up and even queuing together with others who have voted, though you didn't make it to the ballot.
Yeah, I woke up early. I did. Yeah, so as a mwananchi, a good mwananchi, I turned out. So I appreciate myself for that.
Thank you very much. Asante sana. Would you want to say anything about it?
Yeah, I just want to say that it's better for IEBC to just do quality check for all the registrars, because once you register and you are eligible to vote, the presiding officer was telling us that they print the manual register from the KIMS kit, and then he's saying if you're not in the KIMS kit, then you're not in the manual register. Yet last time we used the manual register and the KIMS kit together, so I couldn't marry the two. So they need to make sure that they do quality checks for whatever printouts they do.
Thank you very much. And what is your good name?
George Okoth.
Thank you, George. Poleni sana. Let me speak now to one of the observers, Reverend Dr. Matthews Mwalwa. Some of the concerns that are being raised here and several others, in your assessment as an observer, what would you say have been the pertinent issues that have been triggered in this election, have come up in this election, and maybe your recommendations as we move to the next election in 2027?
To begin with, I think we need to commend the IEBC for a good job well done. Because everywhere I have been, there has been a process that was smooth, seamless, so to speak, except for a couple of areas that perhaps could have been avoided, because yesterday I was speaking to somebody who said their name has missed. They are not in the list. So somehow someone needs to do their homework so that we do not have those incidences where people are disgruntled, they are unhappy. And then another thing is that the biometric method, as good as it is because it is electronic, it has failed in quite a number of places, because in some of the areas where I was today, because of the people that use their hands a whole lot, it was not reading. And so if you have 5 people like that, and they spend about 30 minutes, by the time their fingers show, or by the time the returning officer decides to scan their ID and so on, then you have the other people in the queue all heated up and stressed. But generally speaking, I think the day went very well. The Kenyans came in, not as in many numbers as we had hoped, but they came, they voted, and they were excited about it.
Reverend, somebody was having a conversation with me a little earlier, right here at this polling station, that where is the connection between the people who are attending political rallies by the various candidates and the people who turned up to vote? What is the transition? Where are the numbers?
That's not an easy question, but in my perspective, I think a lot of young people that come are entertained by the crowds and the candidates and so on and so forth. But during the voting day, there's no entertainment. So there's a disconnect somehow between how we look at the rallies and how we bring ourselves to the voting centers. I'm not sure how best to address that, but just to say that the younger generation need to be helped to understand the power that they have, to understand how this one vote would change not just the life of the man that they are voting in, but this vote will change their lives. They become a change agent. I think that's what we need to help our young people to understand.
Thank you very much, Reverend Dr. Matthews Mwalwa, one of the many observers who have been closely monitoring this election. Now, baada ya kura kupigwa, baada ya shughuli nyingi kufanyika mchana kutwa, sasa tunaelekea katika zoezi la kuhesabu kura ili tuanze kupata matokeo. Na moja kwa moja sasa niwaregeshe studio zetu, kwa sababu kama tulivyoahidi tuko na kituo cha kujumlisha matokeo ili tuweze kujua mbivu na mbichi. Sasa niwaregeshe studioni ili matokeo yaanze kumiminika.
Na mshukran sana Francis Gashuri hapo kutoka St. George's Primary hapa katika kaunti ya Nairobi, na tayari tumeanza kupokea matokeo ya kura kutoka maeneo mbalimbali baada ya shughuli hiyo kuanza ya kuhesabu kura baada ya vituo vya kupigia kura kufungwa mwendo wa saa 11. Na Sam Gituko namuona hapo karibu na kidubwasha chetu cha kuonyesha zile kura zinazoingia, na arifiwa kwamba kura za kwanza ambazo tuliweza kupokea katika chumba chetu cha kujumlisha kura zilikuwa kutoka kaunti ya Kakamega, gereza ambapo kulikuwa kumesajiliwa wapiga kura 8. Ni wawili tu ambao walikuwa wamepiga kura, na naarifiwa kwamba wawili hao walikuwa wamempigia kura mgombeaji wa UDA ambaye ni William Ruto. Sam, tueleze mengi zaidi kuhusiana na jinsi hizo takwimu zilivyo kwa sasa.
Well, indeed, Bashirima, and of course, this is the magic world. So far, we have a bit of results, and I want to begin by looking at the national level. We have received results from some two. Actually, they appear to come from Narok County here, and the ones that have been tallied is 47 for Raila Odinga, 1 vote for William Ruto, so that gives 97.91%. Of course, the polling station so far tallied would appear to be about to be sure to get that right, but you can see that these votes are coming from Narok, but there are those that you're talking about that have come from Kakamega Prison, which is in Kakamega County. Of course, the two prisoners voted for Raila Odinga. Then you'll see that William Ruto so far with 1 vote. But of course, it's such an exercise that we are here to wait for those polling stations that have very few voters. Then this is the sort of outcome that you'll expect, that the forms 34A have been scanned and sent to the National Tallying Center as well as to the Constituency Tallying Center. And those are the forms that we are receiving here at Citizen TV or at Royal Media Services to be in a position to translate. And this is what you have so far going. Out of 48 votes cast so far, 47 go to Raila Odinga, 1 goes to William Ruto, and it's still early to be in a position to understand how this will go. So, of course, the turnout, you'll see this figure of 0.01%. Compare that to the national voter turnout that we hear were fully, the IBC commissioners talking about 56%, but once you calculate out of the 12 million that they have provided, it comes to about 54.5% as of 4 p.m. So just to repeat that from the calculation based on the figures they've provided, once you calculate that against the 22.120 million registered voters, comes to 54.5%. But they are saying from the calculation, it's 56.17%. Mashirima? Right, Mwanahamisi, if you can hear me.
Na nakusikia Sam. Na kama alivyosema hapo Sam ni kwamba kura tayari zimeanza kuhesabiwa. Tukiangalia upande ule wake ni kwamba 47% ya wapiga kura kote nchini kura zao zimehesabiwa, na inaonekana kwamba Raila Odinga hivi sasa yuko mbele na 47%, akifuatwa na William Ruto ambaye ana 1%, ama ni 97.1%. 97.1% ya kura ambazo zimepigwa, alafu hapo kura zenyewe ni 47. Kura 47 zimepigwa kwa Raila Odinga, kura moja kwa William Ruto. Tutaendelea kukufafanulia zaidi kura hizo zitakuwa zinaendelea vile zinapokuwa zinaendelea kutiririka. Kwa hivi sasa basi tukutane na Emily, mwanahabari wetu Emily ambaye yuko katika eneo la Bomet kama sijasahau ama sijakosea. Emily, na hakika huko katika kituo cha Bomet hivi sasa kunaendelea namna gani? Manake tumeona maeneo mengi tayari shughuli ya kupiga kura imekamilika, na hapo kwako tunaona watu wanadondoa pale. Sijui ni yapi ambayo yatakuwa yanaendelea kwa sasa.
Thank you so much. The studio, we are here at in Soti constituency, which is Achebole Primary School, ambapo masaa machache tu, actually it is like 1 hour 14 minutes this polling station was closed, and we are just here to look at how the voting exercise has been happening. And today around Bomet County, the voting exercise went smoothly. There's no incident that has been reported so far. Everything worked really well in Bomet County. And here in Chebole Primary School, I think 1 or 2 residents were just turned away after coming in at 5 p.m., 10 minutes past 5 p.m. And now here we can see this polling station is already closed, and they're beginning now to sort out the ballot papers. Now we will be waiting for the agents here who are sorting from one stream. There were like 3 streams from this point, and currently it is all closed, and maybe systems are all going because they are waiting for the counting exercise to happen. And here security is really tight, and the good thing about residents here in Bomet they are talking about is the weather. They've been experiencing some rain, but today it was a good day. So for them, the voting exercise actually ended well, and here if you can see they're just sorting out the ballot papers ready to be counted. And in this polling station alone, we are told 1,830 voters were expected to turn up, but for 1,420. So around 410 voters did not turn up. And according to the officials here, it is 80% voter turnout, which is for them actually it was a fair turnout. So it's just like any other, because before we came here in Bomet constituency, one of the 5 sub-counties in Bomet counties, we were in Bomet East constituency, we were in Bomet Central constituency, we went also to Chepalungu constituency, and all of them, they opened as early as 6 a.m. and all voters, voting polling stations were closed by 5 p.m. And so we talked to police commandant here who actually said there's no incident so far that has been reported in Bomet constituency. So right now they just the agents are here representing all the aspirants, just to confirm the polls that are cast, to also rejected votes. They're looking at every vote. They want to make sure that all votes are counted. I just want to speak to one of the officials of IEBC here to tell us how the exercise has been. Habari yako, labda tunapenda tu kujua ile zoezi ambalo lilianza mapema, kumekuwaje hapa Chebole?
Zoezi ya leo imeendelea vizuri. Tulianza karibu ilikuwa saa 12 asubuhi. Alafu iliendelea vizuri mpaka saa hizi ndio tunaendelea kufanya hesabu. Ndio tujue at least vile imeendelea vizuri. Yes.
Labda kwa hii polling station peke yake ya Chebole, unaweza sema kwamba ile turnout ilikuwa vipi?
So far turnout ilikuwa imefika around 73%. At the last time I checked it was 73%. It's around there.
Na baada ya hapa tunaelekea upande gani, ama ni nini itafanyika baada ya kumalizika kwa ile sorting, pia ile kuhesabu? Mnatoka hapa mkielekea pande gani?
Tukishamaliza kufanya hesabu, maybe after sorting ndio tutaendelea kucount, kuangalia vile kila mjumbe amepata kuanzia chini MCA mpaka presidential. Yes. Announcement ya president ndio itatumwa hapa to the tallying center, alafu hizo zingine zinaenda to the county. Yes, I hope so. Yes.
All right, Gituku Mashirima, and we are just here in Chebole Primary School in Sotik constituency. It is one of the polling centers, 853 polling centers in Bomet County. And now we are here to just look at it. People are just waiting out here, but security is good. There's nothing so far that has been reported, and they're saying that they will just be waiting around to see what is going to happen. From here, they're going to Bomet County, where now the county tallying will be happening. And from here, we just want to take you back to Laura Otieno, who is in Kisumu, to tell us what is happening on the other side of Kenya. Laura Otieno.
Well, thank you very much, Emily. I'm not in Kisumu, I'm actually in Homa Bay County, to Homa Bay Town constituency in particular. Right now we are at the Shauriako Primary School, which is one of the polling centers spread across the 8 constituencies of Homa Bay County. Right now, as you can see, it's quite a deserted scene because about an hour ago, police officers removed everybody, or rather ejected the members of the public who had gathered here to basically witness the tallying of votes. Currently, the IEBC officials are conducting the sealing and confirmation of the ballot boxes before the official tallying process begins. But right now, there's a very heavy security presence at this place because about 30 minutes ago, one man was arrested carrying crude weapons. We understand that police are still interrogating him to understand why he came to the polling station with those weapons. He was carrying a machete and a knife as well. And we understand that he was wearing a badge that signified that he was an agent, but it is yet unclear which party he was representing at this particular polling station.